Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just made a video about Star Wars Theory and how everyone's attacking him for his opinion on the last couple of episodes of The Acolyte. And I'm actually on his side. I'm absolutely 100% on his side. And not just because I think he's hot, because I have bad taste. Seriously, I can show you pictures I have a type. God, I went for my photos the other day. I'm like, yeah, I really do. But yeah, so he's just come out and said, no, not in my Star Wars. This is not George Lucas's Star Wars. This is not what George Lucas would do, how he'd do it. And, you know, this is not something that Darth Vader would allow to happen in his empire. Because even though he's evil, he has standards and belief, because he believes he's actually, you know, right. And a lot of people just don't get the character, don't get Star Wars. And they are these bland, unimaginative, generic people who, you know, they can't actually share that vision of you know, this fantasy world. So they want Star Wars to be basically like brought down to earth and be, you know, dumbed down and be normal, like their day-to-day life. They can't escape to another place. So what they want is for Star Wars to resemble their boring, bland life, so they can say, see, and that validates them. And it's a really sad state that all these people are attacking him because he wants Star Wars to be preserved and to be something special. And they're all like, this is not George Lucas' Star Wars anymore. This is like bland, regular drama, you know, real drama Star Wars. And now Star Wars is finally good because it's just like every other bland, regular drama about ordinary stuff that happens in the world. And people are saying, yeah, for too long Star Wars has been about all the fantasy stuff and the Jedis and all that. It should be about the wars, and it should just be a realistic depiction of war. And I'm like, we have that. Go make a war series about an actual war that we had on Earth, if you want to see, or just go somewhere where there's war at the moment, or watch the news. Star Wars is supposed to take us away from that to a galaxy far, far away, you know. And this is the same thing they've done with Star Trek, which is what I was going to go into in my other video, but I was already at 6 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do another video. They're doing the same thing with the Star Wars TV series that they did with Star Trek. Then they're just 5 years behind, because Star Trek has been ruining Star Trek for a good 10 years since they gave up on the films, and started to make series like 8 years ago. The idea is that although Star Wars had a bigger fandom than Star Trek, they were limited by their fandom. So the people that owned the IP, none of which created it, because Gene Roddenberry's died and George Lucas, you know, retired, essentially. The IP, you know, is now owned both by companies, and the way they look at it is, well, we don't care what the show is or what the fan base is. The fan bases are not big enough. The general community is bigger, so we want our shows to appeal to the general audience, which means we have to dumb it down, normalize it, bland it out, and make it just like any other TV show that any general audience person could watch that has no idea what Star Trek is or what Star Wars is. And that's where they're going with Star Wars. They're not there yet, but they're getting there. And they've done that with Star Trek. And the other idea is, well, if we can't get the whole general audience to watch, we'll just make different genre shows. We'll make a different show, Star Trek show for every genre, and eventually we'll just get everyone. We'll get the reality TV people by making a reality TV show. We'll get the comedy people by making a comedy show or a cartoon. We'll get, you know, the other comedy people who are cynical by making a parody show. We'll do a drama show where everything's realistic and gritty and dark, and then we'll do like a noir show set in, like, you know, the Hollywood 40s or something weird. You know, we'll just all these different ideas of what it can be. We'll do an actual reality game show where the people are being filmed for a reality show in the 21st century, and it's a sitcom, and they're just throwing all these different things at the wall to see what sticks. And the idea is, well, eventually we'll get a little bit of each genre's audience, and then we'll eventually have everyone watching Star Trek somehow. And they're doing the same thing with Star Wars now, where it's like, well, they've done a little kids show, and now they're doing a serious adult show, and I mean, what's next? They're going to do, you know, like a reality TV show, a parody, you know, a animated comedy. I know they did some animated series before. I never saw the Clone Wars, or I don't even know how many Star Wars series there are at this point, because I've only watched the films. I've never had Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm with Star Wars Theory. He's right, and this approach to Star Wars is not going to work it's already failed with Star Trek. They're just a few years behind, because the Woke Witches show, everyone hated it. The kids show, everyone loved it, but no one watched it. Andor is doing well, but that's because it's just like a serious drama and people can relate to it, because it's just like, oh, this is the real side of Star Wars. Now, okay, we can get away from those silly creatures and those wizards with laser swords and stuff, and we can just focus on real serious. Like, that's not Star Wars. That's it's just So I think Star Wars theory is right. They're going down the wrong track. They're going to ruin Star Wars, and they're just gonna ruin it. And you can't tell them, because they'll sit there and lecture you about how, well, I like this, so it's better than that stupid George Lucas's Star Wars that was iconic and everything. So yeah, that's where that's going.